Rain lashed against the bookstore windows. Inside, warm light spilled onto shelves overflowing with books. The aroma of old paper and coffee hung in the air. Lily, seeking refuge from the downpour, wandered the aisles. She stopped at the literature section, her fingers tracing titles.
Suddenly a voice startled her.
Looking for anything good?
Lily turned, meeting the gaze of a man with kind eyes and a disarming smile. His name was Ethan, and he was drawn to her instantly. They talked for what felt like hours, their conversation flowing effortlessly from books to dreams. The rain continued its steady rhythm outside, a soothing backdrop to their burgeoning connection. As the storm subsided, Ethan walked Lily home, their hands brushing with a spark of unspoken electricity. A shared glance under the streetlight confirmed what both already knew. This was no ordinary encounter. Their shared love for books became a cornerstone of their relationship. Dates were spent browsing dusty bookstores, debating authors, and reading to each other in cozy cafes.
Ethan loved Lily's quick wit and infectious laugh.
Lily, in turn, was captivated by Ethan's gentle nature and his passion for storytelling.
He would often read her his own writing, his voice filled with emotion as he shared his innermost thoughts. Their connection deepened with each stolen moment, each shared dream. In each other's arms they found solace and a love that felt like a forgotten melody, familiar and comforting. Their friends marveled at their connection, whispering about soulmates and meant to be.
Late-night conversations stretched into the early hours as they confided secrets and vulnerabilities.
With Ethan, Lily felt truly seen, her walls crumbling beneath the warmth of his love. They were two souls intertwined among the pages of their favorite stories. The decision to move in together felt natural, an unspoken agreement whispered between shared glances and soft touches. Their apartment filled with books and overflowing with laughter became their sanctuary.
Sundays were for pancakes and poetry readings.
Weeknights were for cooking dinner together, their laughter echoing through their small space.
They were a team, navigating life's ups and downs with unwavering support for one another. Ethan landed a job as a journalist, his words now reaching a wider audience. Lily, with her passion for art, pursued a career as a graphic designer. Their careers, though demanding, fueled their creativity and filled their conversations with new experiences. Life felt complete, their happiness a tangible presence in their home. They were young and in love, the world a canvas on which to paint their dreams, yet, the subtle undercurrents of change were already beginning to stir. Ethan's job demanded more of his time. Late nights at the newspaper became the norm, the deadlines a constant pressure. Lily, consumed by her own demanding projects, found herself working long hours to meet client expectations. Their once shared meals became hurried affairs, punctuated by work calls and fleeting kisses. The laughter that used to fill their home was replaced by the hum of laptops and the exhaustion in their eyes. They craved moments of connection, but work commitments always seemed to take precedence. The easy flow of their conversations was replaced by tired summaries of their days, the spark of their connection dimming under the weight of their responsibilities. Weekends, once reserved for romantic getaways and lazy mornings, were now dedicated to catching up on work and sleep. The distance, though subtle at first, began to weave its way into the fabric of their relationship.
I missed Ethan. I missed our long walks, our intimate conversations, the way he could make me laugh until my sides ached. But most of all, I missed the feeling of being truly seen and understood.
Ethan, consumed by the demands of his job, felt the pressure mounting. He loved Lily, but the energy required to nurture their relationship felt like another task on his never-ending to-do list.
We tried to bridge the growing gap. Date nights were planned, but often canceled at the last minute. Weekend getaways were booked only to be postponed due to work emergencies.
The joy they once found in each other's company was replaced by a quiet understanding that their lives were moving in different directions. The silence in their home, once comforting, now spoke volumes. It happened on a Tuesday evening. Dinner, a quiet affair of takeout containers and forced conversation, had just ended.
Are we still us, Ethan?
She asked, her voice barely a whisper. Ethan looked up, his eyes reflecting the exhaustion they both felt. He wanted to deny it, to reassure her that everything was fine, but the truth, heavy and unavoidable, hung between them. They talked, their words halting and laced with a sadness that cut deep. They acknowledged the distance that had grown between them, the way life's demands had chipped away at the foundation of their love. There were tears, shared moments of grief for the life they had built together. But there was also a sense of relief, a shared understanding that holding on would only cause further pain. The days that followed were a blur of packing boxes and unspoken goodbyes. The apartment, once filled with so much love and laughter, now echoed with the emptiness in their hearts. They divided their belongings, each object a reminder of shared moments and faded dreams.
I'll always cherish what we had.
He said, his voice rough with emotion.
Me too.
She whispered. They embraced, a final act of love and forgiveness before going their separate ways. As Ethan drove away, Lily stood on the curb, watching the taillights disappear into the distance. A part of her hoped he would turn around, but deep down, she knew it was time to let go. Life moved on, as it always does. Lily poured herself into her work, finding solace in the creative process. She reconnected with old friends, their laughter a balm to her wounded heart. Ethan, driven by a renewed sense of purpose, excelled in his career. He traveled, experienced new cultures, and channeled his heartbreak into his writing. His words, raw and honest, resonated with readers who had also loved and lost. They existed in separate spheres, their lives now on different trajectories. The memories, though still painful at times, began to fade, their edges softening with time. The love they shared, once a raging fire, now flickered like a distant ember. The pain of their separation gradually gave way to a quiet acceptance. They had loved each other deeply, but sometimes love isn't enough to overcome the challenges life throws your way. Years later, on a whim, Lily revisited the bookstore where she and Ethan had first met. The familiar scent of old books and coffee brought back a rush of memories, both happy and heartbreaking. As she browsed the shelves, her fingers brushed against a familiar title. It was Ethan's latest novel, a story of love, loss, and the enduring power of the human heart. She picked it up, her heart pounding in her chest. Opening the book, she saw a dedication.
For Lily, who taught me the true meaning of love.
Tears welled up in her eyes as she realized that even after all this time, he still held a special place in his heart for her. In that moment, she felt a sense of closure. Their story may have ended, but the impact they had on each other's lives would last a lifetime. She left the bookstore that day, her heart lighter than it had been in years. The rain had stopped, and the sun peeked through the clouds, casting a warm glow on the city below.